Welcome back to Nightingale's Motorcycles, Restorers and Metal Finishers. Right, for the TLR boys again, we've finally got our Rothmans machine put back together. I'll take you through into the workshop in a minute. It's again the other TLR 200, which you may have seen on the last video with the customer's bike. He's had it stood for 2.5 years on a shelf, didn't want to use it. So the TLR 200 Rothmans, as you might have seen, are stripping it back down again. It hadn't been built that long. Probably a year ago, run it a few times, but we thought, right, seeing as it's going to go out for sale. So myself and my good friend Nigel Finnegan doing the engine, the frame, everything you'll see in a minute, back together, checking everything. And it's a good time to check our heads and see how things are going. A bit like that customer's TLR 200. It's longevity. I know it's only been stood there, but you know, we just like to look at things because that's why we play with a lot of specialist coatings as well, especially in the ceramics. Right, so I'll take you through in a minute and show you the Rothman's bike and what we've done to it. And one of our RS250s may be coming up for sale as well. But let's get back on. A few questions, fantastic comments, a lot of questions and a lot of telephone calls back on the night time I've been doing. On our cylinder heads we put together. So I'm just going to go through a few more things. We've improved a few little things. They're nothing that mechanically, it's more longevity, which we play with ceramic coatings. So we'll go back to, it's funny because the cylinder heads come in here on Friday, an original cylinder head off a customer, and that's the kind of thing we'd get in, look. And as you can see how it is on its old format with the original cam. But again, you know, we're going to take that down. I've just blasted from that side. I've just blasted the underneath. If you have a look close, I hate the word blasting, ultra fine media, an oxide with a bit of glass in that was dry, just to see, because I just wanted to see the state of everything with it looking like this. It actually looks okay on the journals, another cam into it, standard cam of course, but when you start looking at it and look at, I mean, he wants it to perform better. Well, in the standard format, as we all know, that particular motor was a little bit limp, to say the least. Anyway, so let's just go over a few things if you're ever going to purchase one of my cylinder heads. So obviously we're on, if we get close up, we're on the double bearings, eye lift cam, ceramic coated. So this is the same coating as a piston coat. The cam again, longevity. Then obviously it's on the journals there. Bearings fit nicely into it like that, lovely. Just got a bit of assembly oil on them bearings. That goes, and what I tend to do is when I put the gearbox, the rocker box back on, I don't put any silicone on it because I know you're going to have a look in it anyway. I would, but what I do with the rocker box, I've just done this. It's come out of the plant this morning. This is a ceramic coating, and that's in the grey. And it's a heat dispersant grey to get the heat away from the head. On the inside, what I'm starting to do now is, when this dries, I'm coating part of this head in here with the equivalent to the one what's on the camshaft. Again, that's a friction, getting oil moving. Just little bits, because if it's in the gun, I might as well do it. But that looks nice when it sits on here, and I'll show you this in a second. Just put onto it. You know, the colour matching. You can have different colours if you want, but this is heat dispersant. The springs are going to get coated as well. Again, an oil dispersant. The valves, as you know, if you've seen my videos, the valves, then we ceramic coat with another coating. Again, we're trying to keep the heat retained in the top half of the cylinder head. It's your choice if you want to put your original cover on. I ask you to put your sprocket onto this head, and I've said it to you before, I don't supply a sprocket because if you think it's just like a chain and sprocket on a bike and your chain, you know, you wouldn't put a back sprocket on a bike or a front sprocket, you know, you'd change everything. So you're putting your sprocket on which links up with your chain and your bottom camshaft sprocket, crankshaft sprocket, sorry. So that's that put together. I'll just start putting a few bits on it to show you now. So what I do as well, we're just doing a little bit of gas flow into these ports. a bit of a tweak. Obviously, we've had these engines on rolling roads, all the different exhausts. We've aired everything with them, and we just like to stick to our own processes when we put them together. I've just had a load more of these, just made these lovely stainless steel billets for the exhaust. I'm keeping them on 8mm on these. Your exhaust just fits straight in with a new exhaust gasket, but they look nice. Stainless steel bolts, stronger there. And then obviously when the valves are put back in with it and seals are genuine under seals, they're all back in, cam coated, and then we just dress it up a bit with all the stainless steel bolts into the top, some for your inlet carb side. Rocker cover goes straight on there, and we're straight onto it. Just put that one on. Again, it's up to you if you want your original one on. That's it. That goes on, and then your outlet here, again, your stainless steel exhaust ring looks nice. And then what we do finally, put a couple of caps onto it. Again, it's your preference if you wanted to just polish your own caps up. This is how it comes out to you. So you've got an eye lift cam, double bearing, heat dispersant ceramic coating, valves are done, and also the valve heads I'm saying are done. Also the valve shafts we're doing now. This is again with a micro slick on the shafts. Valve springs getting done. All the stainless steel bits put back onto them and the caps. So that's how they come out to you. A bit of a tweak on the exhaust ports. The only thing I'm making, I'm just having these made at the moment, is some plates, because obviously the tappets are slightly different. Adjustment slightly bigger on these. And what I'm thinking is long term. You know, when we're working on a bike and you think, use technology from yesteryear. Well, if I put on here and have them engraved in with the tappet settings, and that it was one of our heads, and you keep it on, and we probably link it down here or push it down here so it just bends down. When anyone ever gets a bike in future, they're probably thinking it's a TLR 200, which it is, but they won't recognise anything different apart from the valve lifter isn't there, because we omit the valve lifter. This is a good way that probably in 10 years time someone can identify the tappet settings, just to save them going back over it all again. The thing is with this work done to this, obviously it's a brand new head, this. When you start looking at these things, you know, for me, I mean, the difference these bikes make, I mean, we've rode over the years different pistons, different formats. Obviously, you know, I do the ignitions and different things, but we've found that when I go back into it and tell you a bit on these bikes, we're running this on a standard piston, not an high compression piston. The difference, I mean, I had to go on that red one the other day, and just to ride it, I mean, we have our own trial section around the back of here, we're lucky, trees and grass and all the rest of it. And when you feel the difference in the power, I mean, I get so many bikes in here, standard format bikes, and they are limp, and the difference it makes, and the reliability we've had. I mean, with the Rothmans one you're seeing there, I've taken the camshaft out, we've measured everything. Again, longevity of one of our heads and what we've been doing, and it's fine, absolutely mint. But I've taken the cam out just to show people, because I've got that as a kind of a thing to relate back to. We've put another cam in it and two, but nothing wrong with it. It's just that we've kind of thumbs up. It just shows you, because when you get onto different bearings as well, I mean, when you see our lift cams, we didn't just go into these and think, right, we thought, how can we make things better? And you start looking at all the I've made loads of notes here when we're going to there, because I've done so much, or we have, me and Nigel, on that bike. You'll see, I mean, the ABEC is the recognised kind of manufacturing airbag for bearings, and they're rated from 1 to 9s or whatever. And some people argue it that it's all about tolerances and longevity again, and also like the difference when you get engines spinning up at 30,000 RPM like a little chainsaw. And this what comes back, and a few years ago I really got into this side of it, especially now, you know, the this kind of big stuff down here, you see race stuff and crank specialist coatings is, and we've probably all kind of done it, and now I wouldn't even think twice. Whenever you watch the majority of people coming here, and it's nothing bad, but they say, I've just had to pay 20 quid or 40 quid for some bearings, I can't believe it. Yet it's such a big part of the engine. All right, you don't have to get the highest rated bearing, because if the engine ain't capable of that, it's no point. If the shafts don't run of that, or the cogs don't run in that, it's pointless. But in some cases you do have to get good quality bearings, and the bearings mean a lot. I mean, I've been looking at some in these formats for the racing side, and it gets really technical. As a guy who don't believe in this ABEC, the airbag system, which a lot of engineers will know out there, and you find when you go on the American blogs that a lot of these lads who are really young lads who are good on bearings are almost professional skateboarders or downhill skateboarders. And it comes back to race boys. The race boys, what they do with bearings, you know, it's a minefield. But all I'm saying to you is, like we've done with the Rothmans, our other building there, these bearings are fantastic. It's proven it with camshaft. So that's it. I'm just covering a few things what you get in our kit for the TLR 200, and go from there. As I say, I've had lots of inquiries in, mainly people who are buying, a few imported ones are coming in again, fresh ones in. And what shall I do? Shall I put this carbon, what ignition? And it's just, instead of going up, they're going sideways. It's just slow down, you know, try and get it running. It's got its original carbon, thank God. Genuine set of jets in it, and slider. Slider's been the biggest fault in them carburetors, or any carburetor what's worn. But the bodies themselves are fantastic. So I'm going to take you through now, covered on the heads. You'll see a few of these, because we've got, I've got about another 7 or 8 to start doing. And as I say, if you wanted a bit of difference in colour, as I say, that colour, I haven't just sprayed it for a reason. It's heat dispersing. It's for getting it away, heat away. Like I do the float bowls on the TLRs, it's again to keep the heat from the head to the float bowl for one of the undercosts are drying out. So let's go and have a look in workshop and see what you think of this Rothmans, which you'll have seen many videos with it cracked in half, and what we did to it. So let's have a look. Right, so let's have a close-up then of the Rothmans. Rothman colours anyway. So we'll start at the back. Obviously, we took this down about 12 months ago. New rims, spokes, cerakoted the hubs. Chain sprockets have just gone back on it again. The rock shocks, I actually stripped down, and what I did, I powder coated the outside, and then I did the inside in a slate grey, and that makes it look quite nice. Did that about 18 months ago. So the frame's just been re-powder coated again, zinc powder, top coat, and clear lacquer powder. Obviously new mud guards. The tank and seat unit's original, but look how new it is, because it had hardly been used. So we'll get close up to the engine then. As you can see on our frame modifications, remember this has had the head modification, our footrest modification, then the beta outers what click on, and then the footrest. So all blends in and braced and everything done. Swinging arm's been extended. It's actually powder coated in zinc. That's the same colour zinc what's on the inside of that frame, and I've just clear coated it. So lovely, we just tried to blend it out a little bit. Extended swinging arm, because obviously sometimes when you tweak the head, the purists, you know, we're looking for wheelbases, so we've taken that to the head angle, which we've taken this to. As we've come along, you'll see that I've diamond grinded all these 18 months ago, and they're all immaculate. Then we put them in canning room, polished them, The crankcases inside, internally, we've stripped them down again. We've done the inside with soda, hence no metallic objects getting inside, metal oxides. So that was soda. The outsides were done with an oxide, ultra fine, then gassed out, ceramic coated. The barrel, it's on standard bore, this one. We've ceramic coated the head and barrel, one of our heads, double bearing, eye lift cam. Then we've faced and dressed these fins, as you can see close up. A nice shine on them. So we come on, carrying on along the bike. If you look at the engine mount, this is close up, you might see it on the camera. That's chrome powder, that. We did this just as a bit of to stand it out a bit. We also did them hangers onto beta footrests, the actual internal ones there in chrome powder. So we've come along. Our headstock modification was slightly different to certain people do, and we've worked across the front of the bike. Again, we re-spoked it, ceramic coated shoes, bearings. We put tyres on it then. We put the new plastics on it, brand new stanchions, inside seals. So all that side's been done. Air filter box is the original source of it, and the carburetor obviously been rebuilt or replaced at the time. I don't know what we actually had on that. We've done a few bits on this around this side. We've kept, again, polishing to the crankcase, slightly altered footrest, brake pedal. We come down again, as I say, extended swinging arm. Another type of exhaust system on us. So we have loads of exhaust systems. You turn around and look at that one. Turn around and look at this one. One on my RS is different now because we've got different things. Remember, building a bike for somebody who you can adapt the bike for their riding skills. So if you come further across, when we just put this together, again, finned. It's a polished top on this one. I did recoat the valves in there. We've put a new cam in it and ceramic coated it. We're just going to give the float ball a coat of ceramic coating. Again, heat dispersant from the head to the board. You can see all the heat dispersant tape there in the gold put round the exhaust expansion box. And as it follows through, we've got new stanchions, seals, caps. Original yokes. They are a set of our yokes, but the original, we've polished them in the cannings room. Bigger brake cable, everything brand new and polished again. All the studs, everything blinged. It's got the expansion box on the front pipe. And then basically going across the bike, that's the finish of that bike. So when I spin across to the other one now, so this is the one you probably saw in the last video. The customer's got this one up for sale now. That's been on a shelf. All we're going to do with this one, we'll run her up for, say, an hour, clean the carb out. We'll put some fresh oil in it. This one's just been timed up, fresh oil in it again. Inside of this engine, when we took this one down on here, just to give you some idea, we went again with the bearings. The main problem on these, as you'll know if you're into your TLRs, is your kickstart spring is in the middle of the engine and the cogs. So that's all replaced with genuine Honda bits. Now, it was replaced 12, 18 months ago. The only reason we've done it, while it's cracked down, we have them in stock, we've put it brand new into it. It is a fault on these machines with people ragging them and kicking them down. Especially if you're trying to treat it like a two-stroke, it has to engage. And if you ever buy one off the internet, one thing to look for, if it's got the saggy kickstart hanging down here and someone gives you a spring, because this has had the new spring put back in, don't think you're going to go home after tea, come out into your garage, buy yourself a litre of oil, take that clutch cover off, and you think the spring, like most conventional springs on kickstart returns, are here. You're going to spoil your day. The spring is in between and the cogs in between the engine. So it's everything off, full engine stripped down, cracked down. So just something to check. Or if you're going to look for one of these, even if it's not running, stand on it. Again, prod it like pushing down, not like a two-stroke where you let it engage, let it go through its pass. Do it 10 times, and if you hear a slip or a crunch, you know she's wearing inside there. And that is an expensive job because it is a full strip down, something you might not want to do. So this is the bike then, one of our bikes which we build as brand new and sell, because I said we do 2 models. You can start to see where you get more money spent, because we, you know, if you're extending swinging arms or looking for alley billets, which we can go that far, different hubs. And then in this one, what we've done with it, one of our eye lift cams, double bearings again, a bit of gas flowing. We've actually put the standard gearbox back in, same gearbox. And when I say the same gearbox, this box, we actually modified this one for first to second, just to close it up a bit. Now, Nigel, who rides this, very good rider, and we've said this for a while now, when they're on form and we've got them running mint, and we don't go off that kind of running procedure once we've got it, and longevity, like I've just told you about the cam, we think with this head on, this piston, this gearing, we don't notice the first to second gap, and it is an expensive modification. It's another add-on. Again, you know, you can have it, but these are the kind of bikes we build. So bespoke in the workshop. Again, if you've got yourself a donor bike at home looking very sad, you can come in, or if you live far away, you'll have photographs because it's all paper trails to see how we've built it. You can have what shock absorbers, what colour. Again, all done in here. Belt sanded frames, few little tweaks to things as well. Your casing's mint, all done to this standard. And what we're looking for, and we get this a lot of the time, people say to us, it's only a trials bike. Well, we're trying to build something brand new. If you got a car and you said it's only a car and you took it out and someone smashed the mirror off it, you'd be upset. It gets smashed against rocks. We know that, but we're building them to concourse, you know, with modifications for you, the customer, who's coming back into pre-65 or twin shock series, and you want something, you know, looking like, running a bit like your modern bikes in for service over there. So what we'll say is, one of our RS's here, this is an RS 250 TA. That'll be up for sale shortly. It's had some wins on that, runs like a sewing machine, that, fantastic. It was funny because Steve Kirkwood, another good rider, these two guys are from all our same area and they've ridden trials all their life. It's the first time I've ever had this, because this is on form, this engine, and it's certainly on form. And on a double log, he was saying, now he usually rides modern gases, new gases, or TRSs, both of them, but they're both into twin shock scene and a little bit of early monoshock. And he wanted a bit more power. That's like Oliver asking for more porridge. It's that kind of silly. So what it come to with this one, the modification I made, was the original exhaust. We cut it and it comes up on the side, and I'll show you because I'm hoping to get them made in aluminium. And we fluted it different, and instantly you had that blip. And that's on a 250. I've never been asked on this. Whatever these have come to now, that's where we're at. 100% happy. So you've had a good look. This one's been dragging on a bit because I know some people have been wanting to see it. We didn't want to bore you with the full engine build. You saw the casings and everything, but just showing you in the workshop, ceramic coating, soda blasting, polishing. Again, the only thing we outsource are the frames, but we angle them all up and do everything. And for our plates on and all blended in, we rebush this as well on the old brake lever. And I think what we're going to do with this one now is just the float ball, and this one's for sale as well. And so is that one. So at the moment there's a choice. You've got the other choice where you've got one and you want to do it over a long period, 22 weeks, 25 weeks. You can have all your bits back off it if you bought one and it's got the tank seat. Have them all back, put them on the internet site. You'll sell all the bits. I ain't bothered about the engine, what it needs, because we're going to go right through it with all the stock components. And you want it looking like this. I'd love to build, and if I was building another one for myself, I'd love to do a Repsol one with the orange and the black and the tank and seat unit. But that's the great thing when you're having something built. You can come in and see us, you can choose your colours, you can watch it on photographs, you can see it coming along, you can pay for it in bits and bobs. Or we'll find you a bike. They have dropped a little bit on the, like any bikes at the moment, or cars, it's silly. But this is something where you'd have pride in as much as your new bike. And I guarantee you these will put a smile on your face. I always say to people, they always seem to pick two strokes. You've got to remember, if you look at the engine from here, even if you're not up on, you know, mechanics, you've taken, when you was a lad, you've taken AP50s and fizzy barrels off and put them back on. You've got to remember it's the same below, apart from a cog on here with a chain, just that it's got some valves in it. And don't be worried, confused with a four-stroke, because once it's set up and running, but there's one thing you have got peace of mind with. When you strip things down like this, and I always say this, and we always do it, I've said it on another video, you ride it for a few weeks. On every bike you get there, you'll feel a bit through your footrest, a bit through your knees in your tank, vibrations. But once you've put new bearings in everything, and you've checked everything, you're eliminating things. By doing the ceramic coating, it's longevity to the valves, the cam, the power of the head, and you've seen them in now, we put them together. So I hope you've liked this one. We're based in Scarborough, North Yorkshire, 01723 370399. If you've got any parts at home you want to send in to me, as I always say, I'll always do you a test sample. If there's anything you're unsure about, give us a ring on 01723 370399, because that's our landline number after 3 o'clock, and that's when I shut down machines in here. And we'll go from there. But thanks for watching. Appreciate any comments. And till the next one, thank you very much.